I've been right here. Where have you been? No, you wanted to ask me that question, so I'll tell you because it's extremely important. The answer to this question is very important. For the last 5 days, I've not been with you because I was on a secret mission. It's a very important mission, and I want to tell you that the mission has been accomplished. But I'll get to that in just a second. I first have to introduce my guests, Mr. Simon Doull, Mr. Harsha Bhogle. Good evening, gentlemen. How are you?
Very well, Mr. Kapur.
Good, thank you. I'm looking forward to your special announcement.
My secret mission.
Wait. Secret mission. Cannot wait.
So now the thing is that this red table has obviously been the focus of a lot of attention, a lot of love, adulation, fan forums, what have you. In fact, there was a mention at Comic-Con of this as well. So there's all... Yeah, there has been. So there really was a lot of attention on this table. So I was feeling a little in the last 5 days that I might lose it. And it's very important to me. So I went and found a mini-me. Hello.
Don't look like Austin Powers.
Hello. By the way, I hope I don't look like Dr. Evil because that involves... no, this is okay. Little bit is there for a little while, let it be there. But we've decided that now every time somebody says they want the red table or they talk about the red table, I'm going to give them mini-me to play with.
Lovely.
One sec, that didn't sound right. I'm going to give them the miniature table to play with. Right? Is that good? Do you think that's good?
I like it. It's good.
Yeah,
It's very well done.
Well, Simon, you've not earned it yet.
No, did you make it? Did you make it?
You're like a child.
I did, yes. There you go. You can
You're
have
like
a
a
look
child.
at
He
it.
grabbed it back.
Yeah, I did.
fantastic.
No, I'm not like a child. That is like my child. So therefore, don't let too many people play with your baby, my
Is it
friends.
wood?
Do not.
Is it wooden or is it metal?
Yes,
Sounds
who's that?
like, it sounds like I'm tapping Gaurav's head.
Come in. I don't know, I can't hear, there's too much wind blowing. So I never know, yeah. But, well, the winds of change are blowing for some teams. For one team in particular, we're talking about the Delhi Daredevils who are in action today against the Kolkata Knight Riders. For the Delhi Daredevils, how big is this news of Gautam Gambhir just saying, all right, guys, hang on, I don't make the team, I'm out of here.
Big. It has to be big. I mean, how often does a captain suddenly say, you know what, I don't want to be captain anymore?
Yeah.
I mean, we've had examples of people either being moved, asked to move, or people giving up their captaincy midway through. But this was big because he'd been hired specially for his captaincy, not for his batting.
Yeah.
He'd been brought in as captain to maybe find something that DD was searching for 10 years, which is we'll put together a team, but let's win something. Yeah, let's win something. So that was his role. Yeah. And suddenly, the general who's been appointed to win the war is not there anymore. So it's huge.
Yeah.
Well, the general can't fire any guns.
Yeah.
He's just not firing anything, is he? There's nothing going on up the top. His strike rate is 70. He's not scoring any runs.
True.
It's too difficult. So therefore, I don't think Gautam Gambhir, the captain, had to go. Gautam Gambhir, the batsman, had to go, which means they needed a new captain.
Yeah.
When you play like that and you're not performing, you have to go. And he did the right thing. And we said that with Joy last week, that he's that sort of guy. He's going to do the right thing. He's done it now. They need to move on. And Shreyas Iyer needs to make this team his.
You never know. Sometimes a big decision like this can just sort of turn the fortunes of a team around. It can just galvanize a team. The team that we're talking about, what's the 11 that's taking the field today? Of course, no Gautam Gambhir, so Shreyas Iyer is the captain. He's going to take over for the rest of the season. You've got two changes there. Colin Munro comes in, which is exciting. He's an exciting opening batsman. Would like to see him. And Vijay Shankar, that poor journeyman, when he's in, you think he's not in. Is he there? Is he not there? Then he's out, and then he's back in again. And of course, a few interesting bits. Avish Khan, who looked good. Prithvi Shaw, who was impressive as well for the little bit that he was there. So this is looking like a decent team. Liam Plunkett picked up 3 wickets.
Correct, and look good too.
Yeah.
In the top 5, it's actually got 3 batting match winners.
Yep.
It's got Rishabh Pant, it's got Glenn Maxwell, and it's got Colin Munro.
Yeah.
Now the question is, can they fire? Maxwell is not fired much in the IPL, to be honest, so someone who can. Munro hasn't started well. Rishabh Pant is batting at 5. But if you look down that list, there's 3 guys who can win you a game.
Yeah, which is very important. And you can get, Shreyas Iyer, don't count him out. The other day he couldn't win the game, but he was pretty much the only guy standing between, Kings 11 Punjab in those 2 points. It was one man standing.
In that lineup, I would actually have Maxwell further down the order. If he's not going to be right at the top, they don't go for that option. I'd have Maxwell down at 5.
Yes.
In that lineup, I would have Shreyas Iyer at 3 and Rishabh Pant at 4. Their two best players so far this season have got about at 3 and 4. They'll open with Munro and Prithvi Shaw. Don't mind that at all. Munro had 2 innings and got run out both times. One without facing a ball.
Run out both times.
Yeah, run out both times. And one of them without facing a ball, and then he got dropped.
I thought that was Darcy Shaw's speciality.
Well, it was as well. But that's so that's the biggest issue there. I'd just move Maxwell probably down to 5, and that if they got a good start and he comes in the 14th, 15th over, then he's got a free license to play exactly how he wants to, Harsh. And I think
like him at 5
that's the key to me.
He's better there. I mean, you like hitting the ball in the air. You want to do that more as a number 5 than as a number 3. Let's look at KKR, because KKR have a change as well. Of course, the biggest question that everybody was asking was Andre Russell. He's fine and he's in and he's right there. There's again they do the same thing. Toss up. Who's going to play today? Mitchell Johnson or Tom Curran?
Today's Friday?
Today's Friday.
Mitch Johnson.
Today's Mitch Johnson's day.
If it was Saturday, Tom Curran would have played.
They're pulling short straws, right?
They only got
Tom Mitchell, come on. Here's the 2 straws. Pick one. I'm not playing today.
They're looking at the surface in a big way and saying pace on the ball, quicker surface. So on a slower pitch, you play Tom Curran because he's got great slower deliveries, and in that fact, and then on a quicker one, they'll play Mitchell Johnson because he gets the ball through probably a little bit more, and they've got bowling options, so they actually don't need Andre Russell to bowl. I don't know whether he'd be fit to bowl tonight. Remember, I think 2 games ago he didn't bowl at all, and then he tried to bowl against Chennai, wasn't it?
And went off after
and went off, and got injured. So they've got plenty of bowling options without using Andre Russell. He's there to win them a match with the bat.
Unless that's the reason why they brought Mitch Johnson back, because they may not have the pace of Andre Russell. So maybe they want to, even though Johnson is now mid-130s, but maybe they want that pace.
A little bit of pace.
Yeah.
But he's also, I mean, Mitch Johnson is still Mitch Johnson. I mean, he's still a dangerous guy. He's still a guy who a young Indian batsman would look at and go, hey, listen, I'm playing more the perception that I have of him than the actual delivery. It could happen, right?
I think young Indian batsmen have a long time ago, but not these kids. Not these. They come with a fairly big rap on themselves. Some of these boys, I tell you that much, and rightly so as well. I mean, they're proper players, and they're growing up in this environment. They're not growing up in an environment where it's a little bit timid and a little bit you can be a little bit shy. They're growing up in the Dhoni, Kohli, Rohit Sharma environment where these guys are big gun-ho guys, and I don't think these young fellas come in anymore with
Gabbar.
Let's
not forget Gabbar as well.
Exactly.
But the other day in the slips, I thought he did this even before he finished the catch.
He did, but it wasn't out.
It wasn't the catch. He did that nonetheless.
It wasn't out. But I think they've got a different attitude, Harsha. The young kids in India nowadays, the batsmen in particular, have a different attitude.
It's symbolic. I strongly believe that people play cricket the way the mood of the country is and the way people believe, the way they look at life. India under 25 is a different country. Bring it on. They're not worried. When we were growing up, you know what we were told? If you're playing in England and you edge the ball, don't even look back, because you know what? The English don't drop catches like us. You edge the ball and you go. Those were the hang-ups that we were taught when we were kids. These kids are saying, you know what? They are coming to play the IPL. We're not going there.
That's true.
So it's very different generation.
No, but it is. We under 25s are a little aggressive, and that's what we're taught. So
okay, young man, hold on to your toy.
Why is everybody laughing? And the truth is not to laugh upon. But the truth is also that
you just had a birthday, so there's nowhere to hide now.
It was my 26th. Fine, you're all friends. Let me not lie to you. Shreyas Iyer, though, we're talking about bona fide youngsters.
He's under 25 because I played the under 19 World Cup in 2014.
By the way, in India and in cricket, that's no guarantee. So let's get that out of the way first.
Let's not go down that road.
Yeah, all right, okay. He is definitely under 25 for sure. So Shreyas Iyer is under 25, bona fide he is. But him taking over as captain and his form in this tournament, you like the fact that he has taken responsibility a couple of times?
Yes, he has, and we saw that in the last innings. But you go down that side and say, right, who else? If not Gambhir, who captains? Do you want to go Glenn Maxwell as captain? Do you want to go Chris Morris as captain? No, he's gone back to South Africa. Not even to the dressing room. So, do you want Shahbaz Nadeem, Amit Mishra? Do you want Prithvi Shaw? Oops, there's only one man standing, him. And the funny thing is, this year, Aditya Tare was captain of Bombay. Then they replaced him with Prithvi Shaw for the knockout games. I don't know how much Shreyas Iyer was available. Before that, they had Surya Kumar Yadav. So I don't know how much captaincy experience he's got.
Yeah, but
But he's got that swagger about him. So
yeah,
that might
sometimes.
help.
I mean, Simon, we've seen. I still remember Lee Jamon, his Test debut as captain.
And he's trying to say he's 26.
Jeepers, so do I.
You know, I go back in the archives.
Hey, those were dark times in New Zealand cricket. Those ones I give you the tip.
There's a lot of bona fide under 25s will not know who Lee Jamon is.
That was
That day
22
came
years
along
ago.
because New Zealand coach needed a captain he could control.
Yeah.
So he picked a captain
Don't go there.
who shouldn't even
Indian
make the team.
cricket has wounds. Indian
Shouldn't even
cricket
make
has
the team.
Indian
Anyway,
cricket-
let's move on.
Yeah.
We're talking about IPL.
Correct.
I
Indian
feel like
cricket
I
has
have
wounds of
stirred-
coaches like that.
I have stirred the hornet's nest. Well, let's come back to Shreyas Iyer and let's look at Shreyas Iyer's timeline. Gentlemen, you'll find this very interesting because the last couple of years, it's been very interesting for him. You said 2014, you touched upon that.
You know, I was there at that Under-19 World Cup. He wasn't in the 11.
Yeah.
They were playing Ricky Bhui, they were playing Vijay Zol, they were playing all these boys. And then suddenly he turned up to play one game and we were saying, I mean, why wasn't he playing all along? It was so clear he was better than the others.
Yeah.
But it's a big jump. We're talking 4 years ago.
Yeah, and then
That first class season though.
809.
First class season for Mumbai, 14-15, 809 runs.
also emerging player of the year when he played for Daredevils.
IPL
those years
emerging
ago.
player, yep.
Yeah.
We had something to do with that, I think,
Yeah.
with the commentary team. Highest run getter, 11 games in the Ranji Trophy, 15.
Mumbai to the title.
fantastic.
Helping Mumbai to the title
And
that
I
year.
remember 2015, I remember talking to Gary Kirsten. And he said, this kid is going to play for India. He didn't say this kid might play for India. He said, this kid's going to play for India.
Yeah.
And that was the first time he'd seen Shreyas Iyer.
Yeah, but if you look at it, in the last 4 years, I mean, we don't talk about, you know, we've always spoken in the past about Virat Kohli got fast-tracked and people get fast-tracked to the team. This kid's got genuinely fast-tracked, hasn't he? And he's had the performances to back that up, yet somehow he's not spoken in the sort of same tone of voice or the same breath as some of the previous fast-trackers were spoken about.
Also, there's so much competition going on there. There's Manish Pandey there, there's Shreyas Iyer there, suddenly Dinesh Karthik is coming back saying, should we
KL
pick Rishabh
Rahul,
Pant?
who
KL
went out of
Rahul is coming
contention.
in. So, in that middle order, suddenly Kedar Jadhav is there, little maybe 5 or 6, and Dhoni is always there. There's so much competition in there that nobody's getting the opportunity, and of course Virat Kohli is there.
Yeah.
Nobody's getting the opportunity to say, I'm here. So, they're having to make good the opportunities they get, and there's been not that many.
The thing I take from those stats is your second year is always your toughest.
Yes.
Okay? People know what you do. First year he comes out, he gets over 800 runs, Ranji Trophy. Second year is always toughest. Nearly doubled it. Well, not doubled it, but he got another third on top of his 800 in his second year. So that tells me he's a player. Your second year, whether you're a batter or a bowler, everybody's had a good look at you and they know what you do and they work you out.
They see you coming.
He got better.
Yeah, he got
So-
better.
and I think that tells you a little bit about the pedigree of the young man.
And the character and the temperament, and Delhi would be hoping that that's the kind of temperament he can show because he's been sort of literally thrown in the deep end. He didn't expect, of course, the captaincy. It's been thrust upon him halfway into the tournament. A team that has just been losing sort of non-stop. They've only won the one game and now he's got this on his head. So really, I mean, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. Shreyas Iyer would be hoping that that's true in his case. With the Kolkata Knight Riders bowling, we must talk about the spinners. Of course, in the auction, there was a lot of talk. We said they use their right to match cards. They use. Suddenly, you've got. Hang on, you've got Sunil Narayan, Kuldeep Yadav, Piyush Chawla. When are you ever going to play? Remember us saying that. When are you ever going to play the 3 in the 11? But somehow,
working. So it just tells you. It just tells you, and Dooley probably explain that better than I can. That if there's bounce, the spinner likes the bounce as much as the fast bowler does.
Yeah, doesn't necessarily have to turn for the spinners to enjoy it. As long as there's bouncing, particularly with someone like Narayan, who bowls the ball quite quick anyway, gets bounce, moves it both ways, no problem at all. Kuldeep, one of the best in the game at the moment, I think, with the white ball. So he's got no issue there. And Piyush, well, he's just experienced, isn't he? So he knows what it's all about. And as long as they can have around them just some seams, some quick bowlers to do the damage, they're going to be absolutely fine, and it's proving that way at the moment.
have you both been surprised by the number of overs the spinners have bowled in the power plays?
Yes.
You have been?
Well, they have to. Yeah. I think they have to, Kolkata, because of their 3 quality spinners. They can't have too many of them for the back end.
There you
so
go.
that's
I mean,
why
they're
the
the highest by a long distance. Look at the delta between 1 and 2.
Yeah, and Kings 11 have used Mujib at the top a little bit. Chahal has bowled a little bit for RCB, hasn't he? The Sunrisers. They've used Nabi in the couple of games that he's played. So the rest of them, they go down, the further down the track you go. Mumbai tend to use McLennigan and Bumrah and their seam bowlers a lot more. But KKR, because they've got 3 spinners who they genuinely want to bowl 12 overs in the match, they have to bowl some of them in those first 6 overs, and generally it'll be 2, possibly 3 overs of spin in that first 6 overs for them, because they've got to get 12 overs out of the way. Narayan can bowl at the death, but apart from that, unless you're bowling to numbers 8, 9, 10, 11, I don't think they want Piyush Chawla and Kuldeep Yadav bowling at the death. So, so they've got to fit them in early on.
Piyush Chawla bowls in the power play.
Correct.
He was telling us that day he's been told, "Tumhare 2 over hai." And if he gets a good 2 overs in, they'll give him a 3rd over in the power play.
Yeah.
We're seeing that trend emerging. Quite a few people, captains, are using players for 3 overs in the power play. Sometimes they're using them all 4 as soon as the power play is over. But Piyush Chawla has been told, "You are our power play bowler."
He's an experienced. What he's playing his 200th, I think it's his 200th T20 game today. I mean, across different leagues formats, he's got 200 T20 games.
And his cheeks are as chubby as ever.
Nah, there you go. He is another bona fide under 25. Piyush Chawla is. Of course he is. He always is. And he always will be. He's our own sort of little version of Shahid Afridi somewhere there. He's a little there. Delhi Daredevils, if they don't dig themselves out of a hole today, if they don't get these 2 points today, they might as well just pack their bags and say,
and it's dangerous for the IPL. It's dangerous for the IPL because there's 2 teams in that position. MI play CSK tomorrow and DD play today. If they lose those games, they are 1-6. 1-6 means you have to win every single game.
It's basically a 6-team IPL from there on for the other half, which is terrible.
Yeah, well, it loses its interest for those 2 sides and their supporters and their core supporters. And then what happens is the teams at the top, all they can do is play spoiler. And that's the issue. So those games become interesting because they can play with freedom. There's no pressure on them anymore. They're not going to make the playoffs, so therefore they play with freedom, and that's why you see some of those teams at the bottom come through and finish in 5th or 6th rather than last and second.
They become dangerous because now they play with nothing to lose.
Exactly.
But you don't want to go there. I mean, DD, you've got to think they've done everything. Maybe they've just done too much. Every year there's they've got a new captain, they've got someone there. Oops, that didn't work. Let me get somebody else.
Do you think they're too impatient though?
Maybe.
Yeah, I tell you what, if they ran their business the same way as they run their cricket team, I don't know whether they'd be in business.
Fair enough.
Their business is built on long-term planning.
Their business, when I visit their airports and things, they're wonderful. They're great places. They're fantastic. But I tell you what, it pales in, the cricket team pales in comparison to how they run those things.
No, there's a lot of chopping and changing that happens and a complete changing of plan. And we've seen so many auctions now, Harsha, in the IPL where it's like, hey, what's Delhi doing? It's a clean slate again.
It's a vacuum cleaner.
Throw everybody out. Let's build it up again. So, infrastructure company, right? Infrastructure company. They love building stuff.
Even coaches, if you realize, first they had Shekhar for a while, then they had Gary Kirsten, then they had Rajasthan Royals. Now they've got Ricky Ponting. So culturally, these are all different. So what is DD?
True. And they are picking top people. Like if you see the players, Rahul, Gary, Kirsten, Ponting, you've got some big names there.
Even the players, look at this 11. This is 11 that can win an IPL if everyone's in good form and firing.
That's true. The number of people that they've cleaned away, the number of people who have a DD shirt in their cupboard, that would be an all-star 11 somewhere.
Or you could pick a very, very fine 11 that had played for Delhi Daredevils.
And have been let go by them. It's not like they said, it's not working out, we're going to leave. It's like Delhi Daredevils have said, it's not you, it's me, bye-bye.
Everyone thinks that way. Mumbai Indians fans think that way. And this year, the RCB fans are saying, who's not with us this year? Chris Gayle. Oh, he's scoring runs, is he? Okay. KL Rahul's not with him. What happened? Oh, he's scoring runs. Shane Watson's not with us. Oh, he's scoring runs. So every team feels that way.
Oh, RCB fans, I tell you, RCB fans. I was in Bangalore that night when that happened. I was outside the stadium. I saw a lot of long faces. Pretty much, 3-kilometer radius of the stadium. Simon, you had asked us for some numbers of, we listen when you talk to us before.
I know.
You said of top performances after last night, of top performances in a losing cause. So man of the match awards.
We were talking about it last night. Now, I know the losing team got the man of the match award last night. You were at the game, Harsh, weren't you? How did that come about? Tell me about that, first of all.
I mean, Rashid got 4, right?
There was a big debate on who's going to get man of the match, and Pommy was speaking the man of the match, and he 5 for 14. You're looking at, and then suddenly he's done very well in the second spell. Suddenly he comes back in the first spell. He comes in the second spell, picks up another, and now you're thinking, is it him? Is it him? Is it him? Is it him? And Pommy said, oh, maybe I'll go with Rashid. Oh, maybe I'll go with. But in that maybe, Ankit Rajput stayed.
Okay, so the conversation came about last night, Harsh, when we were sitting here with Zach and Dinesh, that what are the best losing performances?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, so the best
They just don't
performances
deserve
in a
to
losing,
be on a losing
the
side.
best performance in IPL in a losing cause was the question. And because I thought back to Riddhiman Saha's 100.
Yes.
If you're talking finals, then Anil Kumble's haul in the second final, 2009 final.
Well, look at Yuvraj.
I thought you were too young to remember, but that's okay.
Look at Yuvraj Singh.
Yeah.
Amazing, two amazing performances from Yuvraj Singh at the top with runs and wickets, both in games that they lost.
Yeah, that one was just, I remember watching, that was just tragic. You don't have performances like that ending up on a losing side. Yet, UV, it's happened twice.
Yeah.
There's a 66 and another 4-wicket haul there. And these are not 4 for 60. You're not saying, oh, you got 4, but you lost it with the ball. No, you've bowled them tight.
Brilliant.
Riddhiman Shah's 115. Adam Zampa's there.
Yusuf Pathan's 100?
I remember that. That was at Brabon, wasn't it?
He just kept going boom, boom, and everyone thought the game is over. And they said, oops, hang on, this guy is still batting.
Yeah.
And it was just something else.
In the end, it wasn't quite to be. So that's our list. I think they can jump on and maybe add something to it. If you want to.
Are you happy with this list?
I'm pretty happy with that list.
How come Anil Kumble is not there? Well, man of the match.
But you can jump on Cricbuzz, can't you, and have your say?
Yeah.
If you want.
Do
in the
it.
break.
It's a democratic forum. It's on the internet. So tweet your views on hashtag Cricbuzz Live. What do you think about this list? I will be lodging a formal complaint that Anil Kumble's name is not there. On behalf of Simon Doull, you want all the bowlers to be there, of course.
Absolutely.
So you said we listen to you and we make the list, and yet you are saying that now I am complaining. So
you have to understand. So in Hindi, there is a concept called bin pende ka lota, which means that you have a container which has no bottom to it. Right. So whichever way you turn the plate, it'll just sort of fall side.
Okay.
Or a palm tree in the wind. So that's how I am. When it seemed like it would be good work, which I presumed it would be, I said we did it.
You would claim it. Yes.
When we realized that it was patchy work,
you're going to blame it on someone else.
They did it.
It was that lot in Bangalore. They did it.
I was not even here. What are you talking about? We're talking about today's game, though. I am going to ask both the gentlemen for their score prediction. Delhi Daredevils is batting first. We've seen the batting lineup, good batting lineup. We know the KKR bowlers. Where do you think Delhi Daredevils is going to be?
The other day, 140 was made.
Yeah.
And
143 that day.
Yeah. And was defended. So in their mind, they're probably thinking, if I get 160, you know what? This might be a good surface. But the Delhi wicket is as unpredictable as everything in Delhi.
Yeah.
So you never know. So you never know what's coming next. But if they can make 160, 165 batting first, I think they'll be very happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the same. They've got a couple of players for me that struggle with spin, with good quality spin. Munro is one at the top. I think he battles with good quality spin. Maxwell, very much the same. It's going to be down to Shreyas Iyer, Rishabh Pant, I think, to put a big score on the board, but I don't see them getting one. I'm going to say 155.
You say 155? You're saying...
I think they'll be very happy with 160.
No, but you need to pick a number.
How many they will make?
Yeah.
149.
149, 155.
He's low balling.
He's low balling. So I'll take the other end then. I'll high ball. I'll say 168.
For all they might be
172.
Are you in an auction with yourself?
I'm in an auction with myself. Just go.
They might make 190.
No, I hear 185. For myself. Sold.
Nobody's buying it.
Nobody's buying it. You're right.
Thank God you put the little table away and didn't bang on the table.
This table, of course, is just going to stay right here. All right, so we're going to go now. And we're going to see you in 90 minutes. But before that, we do have something tricky for you. I was trying to go past the joy factor because I'll have to give this table away. But you know what? We're still going to ask you the question and we'll decide about the table later. So here's the question anyway.
The AB table you want to keep to yourself?
Yes, I've suddenly got very attached to it.
Took 3 wickets for less than 20 in the only game he played in his first IPL season, yet only played 4 games for his franchise over 2 years, batting for 1 ball in which he was dismissed. Named the cricketer who is one of the few to get a 5-wicket haul on Test debut. Okay, there you go. Find out.
Wow.
Find out.
Wow, that's a tough one.
Yeah, I've got some thoughts.
Have you?
Obviously, he's not played too much IPL.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's not much of a batsman.
Okay.
And maybe it was just a little marginal pick. He came, did well in a couple of games, went away. I don't know.
You do know. I think you do know.
No, I don't know the answer, but I'm trying to guess.
I'm absolutely
5 wickets on Test debut as well.
Wow. Okay, that's a good one. So you can tweet it to us. We're foxed. Joy does this to us sometimes. He just throws one like that and we just completely get puzzled by it. So we are. In case you are not, then tweet to us. Hashtag is Cricbuzz Live. And in case you have any questions that you'd like to ask Harsha or Simon, please tweet those to us as well, and we'll try to pick them up in about 90 minutes. And if you want to ask me how things are for the youth in India, you can ask me that as well. I'll be happy to share with you the trials and tribulations of us, the youth of India. We'll see you in 90 minutes. Goodbye.